The drought in Oklahoma is worsening. However, this weekend could be the perfect barbecue weather. And OU students took their anger out. Find out more about this Sooner tradition. And Sports has a look into how OU students are getting ready for the big game and what the matchup will look like. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Carolyn Felling.
And I'm Bella Roddy. We begin tonight with breaking news surrounding the OU Texas game.
OU Nightly sports reporter Addison Arthur is live with details.
That's right, guys. The wait is almost over for one of college football's biggest rivalry games. ESPN's Pete Thamel reported today that Quinn Ewers will start for the Longhorns. He got hurt in the Alabama game and has missed 3 games since then due to injuries, but he will be back this Saturday. Coming up in sports, I'll tell you what to expect from the Sooner squad. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Addison. Tickets for the Red River Showdown came out a month ago, and many students had to go through resellers to get one. OU Nightly's Dakota McDowell Wapakichi breaks down the cost to get inside the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, guys, OU students have been preparing for the weekend down in Dallas because of ticket prices being sky high. They've been buying their tickets for the past couple of weeks from their classmates who've been selling them for more than face value.
I knew tickets were really hard to get, so I figured that they'd try to drive the value up as much as possible.
The tickets came out on September 6th and were originally sold for $175 plus fees. Students like OU senior Emily Land had to buy a ticket for around 2 times the face value just to experience the game once in college. She said that some of her friends have sold their tickets for almost $700.
So while it is like even me, while paying $400 for a ticket that was originally worth maybe $175 is ridiculous. At least I didn't pay $690.
Price College of Business's Professor Jeffrey Schmidt said he doesn't know how students afford the supply and demand the game's tickets generates, but understands from the seller's side.
Many students have told me that one ticket pays for my entire season of football, so it's a good deal to get the ticket and then sell it to whoever will pay for it. Then I get to go to the rest of the games for free, essentially.
Now, the ticket prices have been falling from around $400 to $600 back down to face value, which is around $200. Reporting in Norman, Dakota McDowell Wapakichi, OU Nightly.
What's behind this price drop? Some say OU students aren't as expensive if the students aren't undefeated going into the game.
And losing 2 games already this season doesn't dampen the passion for Texas Hate Week. OU traditions in advance of the game are still going strong. OU Nightly's Ashley Vandevelde is live with a very special sidewalk. Ashley?
The Roughnecks have been painting this sidewalk near the clock tower since 1983, and they say it's a tradition they don't plan on stopping anytime soon.
This is something that bonds us together, and we sit out here from 6 to where it's done painting.
It's a really big thing of pride. We obviously have the big rivalry with Texas, and so as we can do something against Texas every year, it's a really cool thing.
If you're walking by the clock tower off of Elm Street toward the edge of campus, you'll notice a familiar sign on the sidewalk that gets a facelift every OU Texas week.
We come out here every year to paint, beat the hell out of Texas. It's one of our oldest traditions. It's a very kind of just a very visual piece of our tradition, and so we love to come out here, redo the paint every year, and make it better than the year before.
And another way to honor one of the most celebrated weeks on OU's campus, OU Texas Week.
But it's one of it is the most historic and just the best rivalry in college football.
I really appreciate the rivalry that we have with each other, and it's a great opportunity for both fans of both teams to come together and have a really good football game.
With the paint dry and Texas Hate Week nearing a close, it's officially time for another Red River Showdown.
Like most of the rest of campus, the Roughnecks are headed south to Dallas tomorrow to cheer on the Sooners. Reporting live, Ashley Vandevelde, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Ashley. And with so many Sooners heading over the Red River and through the State Fair, all eyes are on weather.
That's right, Carolyn. Coy Taylor joins us with the first look at the football forecast. Coy?
Yes, ladies, here's a look at your travel forecast if you're making the trip down to Dallas tomorrow. We are expecting temperatures in the 60s to start. We could be battling a scattered shower, especially along I-35 tomorrow morning, but we quickly get mostly cloudy conditions, maybe a few peaks of sunshine, a quick warm up there to around 80 degrees for our high temperature. And if you're going to be tailgating down at the Cotton Bowl or the Texas State Fair, we're expecting temperatures in the 60s for tailgate, mostly cloudy skies, and it should be a good one out there. A cooler weekend expected. We'll have a look at the new drought monitor and look at the Red River forecast. Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Coy. College athletes are able to make their own money from NIL, and now Oklahoma high schools are following suit. OU Nightly's Jimmy Wicks has the story.
On Wednesday, the Oklahoma Secondary School Activities Association approved the use of name, image, and likeness for high school students in the state of Oklahoma without putting the athlete's amateur status in danger. News broke yesterday that after the OSSAA announced the framework of the NIL deal at the high school level, this would give students the opportunity to receive compensation for participating in sanctioned activities. Even with the framework in place, there are still some challenges ahead.
This is a very hot topic in our world. So we were trying to give our member schools and our students some ideas about things that would help them as they navigate through the name, image, and likeness. What our member schools were most concerned about had to do with how would this impact two of our rules.
The OSSAA says players cannot receive compensation based on their in-game performances or achievements, but there is no limit on how much a student athlete can earn.
And a fatal incident between two male university students on the East Coast has left a college, community, families, and the nation in mourning. Mecca Thompson has that and the rest of today's national headlines from the News Center. Mecca?
That's right, Carolyn. A Purdue University student was stabbed to death in his dorm yesterday, and his roommate is now in custody. The student was a senior majoring in data science and was found dead in his room after his roommate called 911. The suspect is a junior international student from Korea majoring in cybersecurity. The Purdue community and family mourn this terrible act as they wait for more answers in the investigation. A New York gun law has been temporarily blocked by a federal judge today. The ruling has restrictions in place that keep firearms from being carried in schools, government buildings, and places of worship, but the judge said the state could not ban guns from Times Square. The law also consists of a strict permitting process for concealed carry licenses and requires background checks for ammo sales. Virginia's governor proposed a new policy for transgender students wanting to change their name and pronouns. Thousands of kids protested walking out of class. This week, hundreds more have joined them. Schools are required to inform parents if their students wish to change any name from how they are listed in records. Virginia lacks an enforcement plan to have school divisions adopt them. And ladies, Dunkin' has rolled out a new rewards perk program, so you may want to stop by and get a cup of joe and a treat before heading up to Dallas this weekend.
Thanks, Mecca. You know what? I think I definitely could use a pick-me-up after the show, but in other sweet news, petting pups could be good for your brain.
And with October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, find out why breast cancer rates are dropping coming up.
Overflow patients from hospitals in Florida are getting the help they need at an old mall. Liv Walbeck has the latest in Health Beat.
That's right, the first field hospital opened up in Fort Myers this week after Hurricane Ian swept through Florida. With dozens of doctors, nurses, EMTs, and other medical professionals working around the clock, the overflow patients from regional hospitals are able to get the care they need. The 30,000 square foot space is located inside of an old Sears store and has enough beds to help hundreds of people. And with October being National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the American Cancer Society reports that breast cancer rates are down. Unfortunately, the organization says that these rates are not declining for women of color, particularly Black women. They contribute this to the lack of accessibility, emphasizing that screenings and mammograms need to be adequate and available for everybody. And keep your friends close, but your furry friends closer. In a new study, researchers found that petting dogs can boost your brain activity, specifically in the frontal cortex, which is the spot that handles how we think and feel. This research supports animal therapy and how hanging out with your pup can help with emotional issues and even seizures and strokes. Looks like there's a reason we call them man's best friend after all. Bella and Carolyn, how about we take a trip to the dog park?
Thanks, Liv. My dog certainly enjoys the joy ride, and it seems like the Sooners do too. Find out what Sooner tradition puts OU Texas in full swing. And Oklahoma's drought is getting worse. And Coy, are we going to be seeing rain anytime soon?
We do have a few spotty rain chances over the weekend, but you take a live look over the South Oval right now, a picturesque view. We'll have a new look at that drought monitor right after this. Welcome back to OU Nightly. Let's get a look at that all-important allergy report. The weeds still in the high category, ragweed, our main allergen out there, and we usually have that from the start of school until our first freeze, and the first freeze isn't coming anytime soon. But let's get you a live look outside this afternoon over the South Oval. You can see a few of the trees starting to change colors. We're expecting a little bit more of acceleration in those changing colors here over the next couple of weeks. 84 degrees, sunny skies at Max Westheimer Airport here in Norman. And here's our current temperatures across the metro. We're at 83 in Oklahoma City, 83 Watauga, Weatherford. You're checking at about 81 degrees. Hello, Guymon, 74 to you. We're at 81 in Woodward, 86 Lawton. Down I-35 there in Ardmore, 88 degrees. So it's been 25 days since we've had measurable rainfall at Will Rogers World Airport in Oklahoma City. That's a 1/10 of an inch of precipitation, or I should say a 100th of an inch of precipitation. And the last time we picked up on measurable precipitation was September 11th, when we picked up just over a 1/10 of an inch. So our drought monitor, you can see much of the U.S. dealing with abnormally dry to drought conditions, pretty much west of the Mississippi River. We zoom it on into Oklahoma, and pretty much the whole state, except for the exception right down here in far southeastern McCurtain County, only about 0.03% of the state not under drought conditions. So that's led to burn bans across the state. All the counties you see highlighted in red, from Cimarron County down or out in the Texas Panhandle down to McCurtain County on the far southeast, all under burn bans. Cleveland County here in Norman not under a burn ban as of yet, but we're probably expecting that to drop here in the next few weeks since we don't see much in the way of rain chances. 83 degrees out the door this evening. We're to 80 degrees by 7 p.m. and 75 degrees by 8 p.m. Our day planner for tomorrow, we start in the 50s with the scattered shower chance. We'll get a look at that futurecast, but we hit up to around 71 degrees by tomorrow afternoon. Well, here's futurecast picking up at 5 p.m. tonight. Some scattered showers in the west this evening into the overnight hours, and then tomorrow morning by 8 a.m. we could be dodging a few drops here in Norman, and then some more rain moves out west tomorrow evening. We'll have some more scattered showers overnight Friday into Saturday morning, and then Saturday afternoon a blob of rain moves into the northwest. As it makes a run at Oklahoma City, it does fizzle out. So here's our future accumulations. You can see mainly in the Texas Panhandle where we're monitoring that most accumulations, but not much more than maybe a few measurable 1/10 of an inch, if that, but not much more to tamp down the dust. Our lows for tonight, we're expecting temperatures in the 50s tomorrow afternoon. We're expecting temperatures in the 70s to 80s, 60s in the far northwest. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. 75 degrees tomorrow, 65 on Saturday, then summer returns 80s as we go into next week. Carolyn?
Thanks, Coy. And after 2 consecutive losses for the Sooners against TCU and Kansas State, Melina Samir is here to tell us if OU is ready to bounce back.
That's right, guys. The Sooners are seeking redemption at the Red River Showdown this Saturday. And one team's starting quarterback is reportedly making his return. I'll have the details next in sports. I'm Melina Samir, and it's time for sports. The much anticipated Red River Showdown kicks off in Dallas this Saturday. The Sooners will take on the Longhorns at the historic Cotton Bowl Stadium for the 118th time. OU Nightly's Addison Arthur is live with breaking news regarding the quarterback situation this weekend.
There's been many questions as to who the starting quarterbacks will be for the Red River Showdown for OU in Texas. ESPN writer Pete Thamel came out today and said Quinn Ewers will return to the Longhorns and is expected to start in Dallas on Saturday. Head coach Brent Venables talked earlier this week in his press conference and said it doesn't really matter who starts for the Longhorns.
My guess is, that it wouldn't affect either side. I know it won't for us. They're going to run their system, and they got tremendous football players around the quarterback, and the quarterbacks have played really well. So whether it's Cardo or Ewers, I don't see something dramatically different in what they do, and I wouldn't see, a whole lot, from them expectation-wise and game planning, what they would do different.
And as for OU, Brent Venables said all three quarterbacks will be getting reps in at practice, but the final decision will be made before kickoff. Reporting live from Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, Addison Arthur, OU Nightly.
And OU students grabbed their sledgehammers and took the phrase "beat Texas" quite literally this past Tuesday. OU Nightly's Addie Crawford has more.
I know it may be hard to believe, but this car right here behind me, it used to be completely intact in a totally different color, but after some students here at the Wesley on Lindsay Street took some spray paint and a sledgehammer to it, it looks a little different.
Hook'em horns are fighting words around here.
Horns down, baby! Woo!
So that car says, obviously, Texas sucks on it, and it's painted burnt orange, so why would I not just show up and destroy the thing?
At the annual Bevo Bash.
It's literally where we just paint a car orange and white, the Texas colors, put the horns down and everything on it, and we just bash it, and it's kind of a ceremony that we do before OU Texas weekend.
Students at the Wesley taking sledgehammers and axes and releasing their Texas hatred.
Just like, I want to, as much as I can, just beat the car, beat the crap out of them. I am picturing Texas as that. Like, if I could just destroy the state, I would.
I want to hit the doors off.
And if you're wondering where the car comes from,
When people park here without a pass after their third violation, after they've been warned, we tow their car just to keep those spots open for the people who partner with us. And so because we give the towing company so much business, they've been kind enough to donate this car for us.
after all that smashing, they ended the night with a Bevo burger.
Gotta eat your beef on Bevo Bash.
Woo! Our students, they did a lot of damage here. You can see remnants of the car all over the ground from them taking out their aggression on their hatred for Texas. Reporting from Lindsay Street, Addie Crawford.
And back at Big 12 Media Days, the Longhorns said they have their eye on the prize and they know what they want this season. And according to Texas running back Bijan Robinson, the grind never stops for the guys in burnt orange.
I'm excited. I don't ever want to wish anything upon this team or anything, but for me, I know what we're capable of, and I know how hard we're working. We've been working hard since January, man, and it's been a grind. It's been a grind. Some days we come out here just crying, after workouts because we work so hard and we understand what we want, for this season.
And I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking forward to the Texas State Fair this weekend. Carolyn, Bella, what about you guys?
You know what, Melina, I'm going to go ahead and say that I am so excited, especially for all the food.
Yeah, Bella, the food is delicious, but it might be a little bit too fried for me, so I'm excited to take pictures with Big Tex. Stick around to see how OU students are grilling the Longhorns next on OU Nightly.
I'm Morgan Martin at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Authorities seized thousands of rainbow-colored fentanyl pills hidden inside of a Lego container this week. Concern continues to grow over the clear danger the drug is causing in New York City. City officials called it the biggest seizure to date, noting the drugs were meant for widespread distribution. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Morgan. And in honor of the Sooners' least favorite mascot, Bevo the Longhorn, OU organizations have been grilling it up this week.
That's right. Tridel, OU Food and Housing, and the Union Programming Board served up what they're calling a Bevo Burgers in preparation for the big game this weekend against the Texas Longhorns.
You know what? I would dare to say that OU students definitely aren't vegetarian this week because Bevo barbecues have been filling everyone up. And I heard it's going to be the perfect weather for a barbecue this weekend, right, Coy?
Yes, Bella, perfect weather for a barbecue this weekend, and I'm guessing many of our viewers are hoping the Sooners grill the Texas Longhorns as we head into Saturday. Here's our forecast for the Red River Showdown kickoff at 11 a.m. We're expecting temperatures in the 70s, partly cloudy skies. A great day out there for the first unranked matchup of the Red River Showdown for the first time since 1998. 75 for your Friday. On Saturday, 65 degrees, so feeling like fall a little bit as we head here in central Oklahoma, but we're back in the 80s. Some sporadic rain chances as we head over the next couple of days, but not much more than to tamp down the dust as we go. Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Coy, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Carolyn Felling.
And I'm Bella Roddy. Make sure you tune in on Monday because we'll be celebrating the student holiday tomorrow. And don't forget, guys, horns down, Boomer Sooner. Good night, y'all.